Big Head's garage. Today, we're going to be working on the bike. Looks good, doesn't it?
What's up, guys? We are back in the garage, back on the chopper. We're going to hit this hard. We're going to get this front end done, completely done today. That is the goal. Get the front end on, get the front wheel on, get the headlight on, get the handlebars on. Let's get as much as we can of the front of the bike done. So let's go. We got to get some bearing grease on this. Wish I had some rubber gloves. Do not have the rubber gloves. They make this cool tool that you can put the bearing in and push the thing on top and it pushes grease into everything, but I do not own one. So we're just going to ruin these pair of gloves. A bearing packer. That's it. Man, that makes a mess. So in the last video, we have that sleeve in there to keep the wires away. I gotta get it over my hand. These triple trees are on, or triple clamps. Got the bearing grease on there. Made a little bit of a mess. The tolerances in these dog bones are so tight that I don't need a ton of grease on it. Oh, what a dummy. What a dummy. I gotta take everything back off. There's no way those are gonna go over it. At least I could just undo one side. Before I put those acorn nuts on, I gotta make sure all these washers and the first set of nuts are on, because just in case I gotta take it off, I messed up doing something. So I bought new hardware for the fender. I think I got to put a washer in the front. When I drilled out this fender, I made these grooves. I don't know if you can see that. So you can slide the fender to get it zeroed in. But we have to, I think I made them a tiny bit too big. What we'll do is we'll throw it on, no Loctite, see how it looks, see what we need for washers, and then we will take it from there. FYI, I don't even know if this engine runs. The guy I got it from said it did. I don't know. It's going to be a surprise for everybody, including me. So definitely stay tuned to the end. Find out if this thing actually starts. Or do I have to call a Harley specialist over here? Get it running. I always wonder that. I always wonder when you heat it up, the metal to powder coat or to weld, does the heat change the way the metal is? Like, because this is now tight. I had a washer in there before. There's no way a washer's going back in there. Jeez. It's always tight, but jeez Louise. So I still think I'm going to drill that. Just not right this minute. Let's get the brake caliper on. I think I'm going to drop this bike off at a racing shop for motorcycles and have them safety wire a lot of this stuff. Pads just slide right in, like I just took it out. Probably shouldn't have taken this one out. This one was tough to get in. like so. You got to line them back up with the hole, and then that pin goes through. I'm waiting to put this headlight back on. So excited about it. So excited about it. One thing is I have to actually build the headlight. So let me build the headlight and I will get right back to you. So I built the headlight. What I mean by build, I took it all apart to have it powder coated. And you guys don't want to see me put that back together after powder coating. Once again, the Nutty Company coming in the clutch. You know what I should have did? I should have put a tap through every darn set of threads. Oh no. Gotta get a washer for that bolt. That's terrible. It's like an eighth big, too big. I found a thin spacer and I just ground it down so it'll fit in between where the shock goes. And we're gonna shrink tube all this. Everything is gonna go into the headlight. We're gonna make a connection in there for power. We'll make it here because we need it for the brake. So we're gonna stop there on the headlight and move on to the risers. Look at this thing from the front. So we got it Loctite, but we can't tighten them up until we get the bars where they need to be. Then we can tighten it up. At the end of this video, I think I'm gonna pop the tank on just to get a good look. I don't know if you're ready for this, but here we go. Come on. Like's a beast. I just tripped over my size 12 boots are just sitting on the floor in the way. On camera, it just doesn't do it any justice. It looks crazy. I think it's a good stopping point. We'll stop there, take a break for today. We'll come back and we'll knock out the hand controls. We'll get that headlight done completely. We'll get the lights actually in it. We'll get the wiring done completely and get the hand controls on and everything. So we are back at it on the chopper. So let's go. So we got these hand controls. We did get them from Amazon. Just a generic hand control master cylinder setup. I just like the way they looked, and they had little holes in the lever. So the reason why I want to get the hand controls on, because I got the brake light switch that we need to get in. I want to get the headlight finished, so I want to run these into the headlight. I want to heat shrink them, get them in, get all the wiring in the headlight. That way, it's completely done. I can close up the headlight. These were made for 3/4 inch bars. I have 1 inch bars. I actually honed the inside of them out to fit on the 1 inch. We have the black ground coming up. We have 24 volts coming up for the headlight and the brake light. And then we have orange going back down, which will go all the way down to the license plate bracket that has the built-in tail light in it. So I'll get everything together, wire that up. We'll get the headlight done. We got the headlight over here. We got everything trimmed back. And if you don't want to solder, you can do this little shrink wrap thing. It drives everybody crazy that I do this, but I did my handlebars like this, never had a problem. So you just take a piece of shrink tubing, put it over, twist the wires together. Hopefully I have the right size shrink tubing. Take the tubing and now you put it back over the wire. I find sometimes when you solder it and you get a little point on the solder and you go to shrink tube it, the solder pops through it. I do it this way and it holds better and it's cleaner and there's not a big wrinkle from the solder. It seems to work pretty well. It'll never come apart. So these whites are going to get tied together, and then the one orange and the red. And then we need a bigger piece of shrink tubing. All right, one more connection and we are done with this. People are going to go crazy about this. You're not soldering it. Hey now! I got reflexes like a cat. That's all done. Wiring's nice and clean. Everything's got shrink tubing on it. I got enough over here, enough play for my hand controls. I can move them back and forth. Plenty of wire. Everything nice and clean at the neck. And let's finish up on the handlebars. We'll get the grips on so we can get a good look at all that. But you know what? After dinner.
Several days later.
So now that we got the hand controls going on, we are going to put the grip in with the housing for the throttle. And when I build these bikes, I use these Arlen Ness throttle bearings. It's a roller bearing throttle kit. You got to pick what size fits inside your bar, and then you just tighten up that little bearing race. And then that red rubber insert piece actually squishes together and it locks in. I already installed the bearing in the grip and it's all the way down in there. Let me see if I can get you guys to see it. So the bearing all the way down there. So you got the throttle housing for the throttle cables, the bearing, and then this fits right on. Well, when it's loosened up enough. And I'm not going to really tighten this up because I have to get the throttle cables. I don't have them yet. And that makes it real nice. I mean, that thing really rolls nice on the bearing in there. And it takes the vibration at the end of the grip. So when you're riding, your pinky doesn't get numb. So we'll lock this in a little bit. When we get the throttle cables on, everything will spring back real nice. Right now it's just putting this together just to get a good look at what the final going to be on it. We'll get on the other side, get the grip on and the clutch perch. And I bought these grips to match the pegs. They're not the same company. Random company on Amazon, but they looked really good and they matched the pegs really, really well. And I also ordered a piece that goes in that'll take up the space here, and I'm going to order one for the other side. It's like a taper piece. It starts here and it tapers down towards the grip to kind of finish it off. We're getting really close. We got to do the front brake line. I did the rear already. We have to do the carburetor, the exhaust, and I think in the next video, I think I'm going to knock out the wiring, because on this frame, this redneck frame, you got to install the battery underneath the bike. So I want as much done as possible so I could install the battery under there. I lost the footage when I was running that wire through the frame last time with the air hose. So maybe we'll do that. We'll do that and then we'll call it quits. So let me set that back up. I have it taped off down here, the other hole that's on the other side. We have that all taped off. And we're going to send this yarn or string through the hole. We're going to feed it with the air and then it's going to pop out through this hole down here. And it makes it a lot easier to run the wiring when you can just pull on the string. You just got to set it up. That's the hardest part, is getting it set up. And then I already got wiring in the hole already too. So you just got to get it started. Hopefully it doesn't go that way and it goes that way. We need to pull a red wire down there. We need to pull an orange wire down there. So the orange wire was for the brake light. I need a red wire for the running light, and then I also need to run a green wire for the starter. Next video, we're going to knock out all the wiring on the entire bike, and then we'll give it a little key crank and see if it kicks over, charge that battery up. And then I also got to go to Harley and get an oil filter and a couple quarts of Harley oil. We are getting close, guys. We are getting very, very close. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. We ended up getting the entire front end done on this bike. We have to complete the wiring. So next episode, we're going to finish the wiring down to the battery, finish wiring it up to the ignition, give it a little key crank, make sure the engine actually rolls over and has compression, because I have no idea if that engine's even going to run, and maybe get the exhaust on there. Stay tuned. We only have a couple more episodes left on this bike, and then we have a couple other things that we're going to throw in the mix. We're going to work on another car, and we are going to possibly build a sport bike. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe, please like, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.